Greetings everyone and welcome to another tutorial made by Klaus Kääriäinen. In this tutorial we're gonna deep into looking at how to create a top-down shooter game controls for your PC game. So let's get it started. So go ahead and navigate to a site editor.construct.net. And if you don't have an account yet, go ahead and create one. But if you do, continue the tutorial and let's press the new project button. And let's give the project a name, a top-down shooter game. There you go. And let's create an object in here. So right-clicking at the empty space, insert new object, and search for a sprite. And let's add that into the game and change the size of that. So if you look at the top, there's a resize button right here, two arrows pointing at different corners. Press that and let's change the size to 128. Let's put it that one, 128. And what we're gonna do here is draw our character straight from the top down. So let's start by choosing our brush. I'm not gonna go create something really epic looking here, just something what we can use to continue the development. So I'm just gonna choose, let's say 60 pixels, no, a little smaller, 50 pixels. And this is going to be the shoulders of our character. So let's draw it like that, and on the other side as well. And then we wanna create the head for our character. So some kind of a skin color here, there you go. And least but not as the final touch, I'm gonna add an, let's say orange, no, not orange, let's go for the blue hat for our character. So there you have it. So what we're gonna wanna add into our character right here is a choosing the image point from the left, and right click on the left side on the white space, add image point, and right click that new image point and rename, and let's call that for gun, and put it on the, it's gonna be on the right, so let's put it right there and close that. And there you have our character. So let's right click on the empty space again, insert new object, and let's add another sprite and press that on an empty space and change the size yet again. So the width is gonna be 128 and the height is going to be, let's say 32. So this will be our gun. So let's draw some kind of a gun here. It's gonna be gray, of course, and maybe something like that. I really wanna make it look like a gun, but let's see how it goes. That's the point of it. And what else should we do? Some kind of forcing at a chop, some kind of a liner thing in there. There you have it. That's our gun. So actually, before we close, I wanna change the origin. So press the image point, and when you have this selected, you can press on the origin from the left, right click it, and quick assign, and let's put it to the left. And then let's right click on an empty space again, and new image point, and right click on that new image point and press rename. And let's call that as the barrel. And you can place it, actually let's right click that barrel and quick assign, and let's choose right. So this is gonna be the point from which the bullets start flying. Speaking of bullets, let's create one. So let's close that and right click on an empty space, insert new object, and let's create another sprite. This is the third sprite for this project, and this size can be, let's say, width can be, let's say 32, and height can be 16. And let's put it gray bullet. No, it's gonna be some kind of yellowish, let's say. There you go, full yellow. And that is our bullet. Okay, so what we want to do with the bullet is choose it, and from the left side choose the behaviors. Add new behavior, and we can search for a bullet right here. There you have it. Add it in there, and we can see how it works. Let's press the play button, and we can see the bullet flying. It needs a lot more speed, so let's choose that, and I change the speed to, let's say, 1000. Okay, so next stop is right-clicking at the empty space, insert new object, and let's type in, is it mouse? Yes, mouse. There you have it. And let's rename the object within the project row, right-clicking our cool-looking character right here, and pressing rename. Let's call him the player. And the sprite 2, which is our gun, so let's rename that. And let's rename it gun. And the sprite 3, which is the bullet, right click on that, rename, and let's call it bullet. Okay, cool. So let's jump into our event sheet from the top and add in the first event. Add event, let's choose system, and choose for every tick. You can type it ever, and you can already find it every tick. And here we can do some magic. So add action, let's choose our gun, and search for set position, and what we need to type here is player dot point image. Let's type in image, and there you have it, image point X. Let's choose that, and open bracket, quotation mark, so the shift 2 button, and type in there the gun, and quotation mark again, and close the bracket. And for the Y, we wanna type in player dot image point Y, press enter, open bracket, quotation mark, gun, quotation mark, and close the brackets. So there we have it. And let's jump into the layout and choose our player and add in a behavior for him from the left side. Press the behaviors, add new behavior, and let's choose the 8 direction movement. You can find it by typing, for example, 8 at the search bar and choose the 8 direction. Well, we want to change that 8 direction a little, so from the set angle, when the player is picked, set angle smooth, let's change that to no, and let's try out how it works. So we have our gun, it's actually at the top of the player, we want to move that, but our player moves and the gun stays at the same position all the time, so that's what we want to do. But let's close the window and choose our gun, and right click on that, and press the Z order, and send to bottom of the layer, and we can move that on the right position to see that yeah, it's working smoothly. And let's choose our bullet, right click on that, Z orders, sorry, and send to bottom of layer. All right, cool. So now we have a movement, but we cannot rotate our character in any way right now, so let's fix that and go to event sheet, and every tick, let's change that, add action, player, and set angle toward position, and let's type in mouse dot x, and for the Y, mouse dot Y. So let's see how that works now. So let's press the play, and we can now see that our character is looking at the direction where the cursor currently is, but the gun is doing something crazy stuff there, so we want to change that. But before we continue, let's close the window, jump to the layout, and add another object here. So right click on the empty space, insert new object, and search for sprite. And let's add that into the game and change the size of the object to 3232. And let's just color that with some solid color, because this is an object which the player won't see. It's gonna be invisible. So let's close that, and let's call it the cursor. Oh, sorry, I mistyped cursor. So let's jump to event sheet and make some magic. So for the every tick, let's add in another action for that. Press the add action and choose the cursor, and let's type in for the search set position. Set pose gives you the set position. Let's choose that, and for the X, let's type in lerp, which is LARP, open brackets, and type in cursor dot X and point cursor, mouse dot X, point, and least but not as the final touch 0.15, and close the brackets. And we can copy the whole punch to the Y as well, but let's change those X's to Y's. There you go, and press done. So what this does, if you go to the layout, press play, you can see that the cursor now follows our mouse cursor, but it follows it like smooth movement. So when we now hide this cursor object and make the player, for example, follow the gun, make the gun follow this cursor, it's gonna make a nice effect for our character. Let's see how it works. So let's hide that, choose the cursor, and from the left initially visible, let's take that away and jump to our event sheet. And we actually have that already basically here. So what we want to do here is the player action, set angle toward mouse X, mouse Y. Let's copy that. So right click on that, copy, and right click on any action and press paste. And when the action is chosen, you can press R. It's basically replace function. So what we want to replace here, the player with, is the gun. And then we double click on that action and change the mouse X to cursor.x and cursor.y. So let's see how it works. Let's press play. There we have it. Smooth rotating gun, which feels much more, let's say, smoother like this. So what we want to do now is add some kind of fun shooting mechanic for the game as well. So let's close this right there, and let's press the add action and choose the mouse, and on click, left click, done, add action, system, search for create object, and choose the object which is the bullet, and the layer is the 0, but the X position is gun dot image point, let's try image point X, open brackets, quotation mark, and type in barrel, quotation mark, and close brackets. And same for the Y, but the of course you can basically copy paste this like that and change the X to Y and press done. And also we need to add an event. So add event And let's choose the bullet and search for onCreated and add in action and choose the bullet and set angle toward position, and what we want to type in here is the cursor dot x, and for the y, cursor dot y. Well, let's try that, how it works. So we now have the smooth rotating gun, and when we press the left button, we can actually shoot objects now. There you go, let's close that, and one final touch. Let's pick our layout one from the right, and there's unbounded scrolling. Let's put mark into that, check that box, and let's choose our player and choose a behaviors from the left. Add new behavior, and you can find in scroll to. Let's pick that, close it, and jump to event sheet, and let's choose the on left button, click, and let's add an action there and choose our player and look for the new scroll to, and there's a function shake, and well, let's just keep those in place, whatever those are, and press done, and let's see how it works. Yeah, now we have a camera shake for our shooting, which is pretty massive right now, and it's pretty hard to understand because there's no other objects within the scene to see how the camera shake works, but I think you get the point here. So there you have it, a movement and shooting function for a top-down game, shooter game to be exact. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please subscribe and like the video. If you didn't, make sure to give me feedback because I'd like to improve my future videos. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next video.